for positive business talk.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. It's a good day to spend time with you.
Well, welcome back. It is Positive Business Talk. We're having a great time here in the studio. Hopefully, we are motivating you and exciting you in your business day. Have you ever been invited to write a bio for yourself? Somebody has to introduce you.
Oh, sure.
And so you have to present them with a bio that's written in the third person, right? Something that's impactful, that's memorable, that's quick and easy for somebody else to read. Well, so does Kat Bugard. She is a contributor at Inc.com. And she says, I make my living as a writer, but every time she's asked to submit a professional bio of herself, she says, I end up tearing my hair out. She says, it's tough. You have to summarize yourself in a few concise sentences, something that still manages to pack a punch and yet presents it presents a unique challenge, right? Plus, writing in the third person, she says, can be just plain awkward. But she finally landed on a formula that she believes will help you pull together something that's impactful, memorable, and super easy when writing your bio.
All right. I like formulas.
First thing she says is start with what you do. Duh. She says any sort of professional bio or elevator pitch won't bury the lead, but it'll start by explicitly stating who you are and what you do. And she says, while it can be very tempting to rely on buzzwords or flowery language to add some extra interest to your bio, she says a better strategy is to explain your role in as clear of terms as possible. Remember, think fifth grader. I have to tell you, I was introduced to somebody the other day, Eric, she was visiting out here and she's looking for a job. She wants to relocate to Colorado. I said, okay, well, what do you want to do?
Okay.
This should not be a hard question.
No.
Right? You just said to me, I want a job. I want to relocate. It should be, I would think. I didn't think.
You know where you're going, what you're doing.
This was the big derailer.
Yeah.
So she didn't really know that. Well, what do you do now? How about let's start with that. What do you do now?
Right. That's a good place.
And it was all industry buzzwords for her industry.
Oh.
And I swear I glossed over.
You got done with it? Like, what did you say?
I don't have any clue what it is that you do or how I can help you. Right? We always want to add our own language to it.
Right.
And yet, if somebody else isn't in your industry, will that make sense?
Right.
If they have to think about it and they get stuck on a word, they're not listening to the rest of the introduction.
Let's just give you a basic explanation of what this might look like. All right. Eric and Angel are a Denver-based, nationally syndicated radio show hosts, right? I said but I just did that in my head. Right. But Eric and Angel are Denver-based, nationally syndicated radio show hosts.
There you
business
go.
Talk show hosts.
Right. We host a talk show.
Yep.
Right. Denver-based or nationally syndicated, depending on, are you local? Are you national? Are you global? And this is what I do.
That's it.
Right. The simple terms. You can get really excited after that, but that's the first piece. And then she says, and then the second part to the formula is explain why you do it. Because she says saying what you do isn't quite enough to provide the whole picture, right? We're talk show hosts.
Sure.
That's really not quite the whole story.
They're on a mission to create a revolution in how people treat people in business, one state at a time.
So now you give the why. It kind of gives you the target audience. It also shares that energy and that passion that people can get on board with. Maybe kind of ignite something inside of them. And so give a little bit of why.
Yep.
In Kat's example, it was after discovering the love of writing at an early age. She realized that brands and businesses could use the content she loved creating to engage and enlighten their own audience.
All right.
Right. And so then she says, notice the word. Touch on your most, again, notice the word most.
Yes.
Notable accomplishments. Right? Of course you want to be impressive, but this is not the place for your autobiography.
Right. So, again, along the lines of the Experience Pros bio, Tussie and Raymer have together been voted the best morning radio talk show hosts in
2 years in a row.
Right.
Or we just broadcasted our 2000th broadcast, which
There
lets
you
people
go.
know about longevity. So a recognition you've received, a certificate, a degree, or something else that touts the achievement, but most notable. And even, I have been given, full long sheets of people's bios
Right.
of every certification they've
yeah,
had, every
sure.
board they've sat on.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, this is not the place for that. And so pick your most notable. Because as for the MC that is introducing you, their job is to keep it energetic and moving along.
That's exactly right. And don't let it get bogged down with your bio.
No. And then finally, okay, so we have the what you do.
Yep.
Why you do it.
Uh-huh.
A notable accomplishment.
Yes.
And then you get to add a little personality.
It doesn't have to be stiff or cold, right? But put a little personality touch in it. A little, what was it? She sees the glass half full, and I see the glass.
You drink the other half.
I drink the other half.
You drink
That's
the other
it,
half, right? People want to see you as a whole person, a little bit about your personality. And so she says, don't be afraid to inject some personality and touch on a couple of things that maybe you like to do or some big things in your career. Or, it's less formal and more personable. And I look at the glass half full.
He
Eric
drank
the other half, right?
Yeah.
That gives you a clue as to who we are.
And I'll be the one providing the comic relief.
Usually. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Right.
I am funny. I don't care what you say.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't say you weren't funny.
Uh-huh. You just give me that look.
I didn't say that. So that's it. 4 little piece, less stress required. And you can change it up for the audience that you are addressing. If you, for example, in hers, she says she spoils her rescued terrier mutt. So especially, there's an audience that would love to know that about you and would endear them to you. So you can add a hobby in here. Things you like to do in your spare time, maybe stuff about your family if that's important. An odd collection that you've collected, but again, gives way into your personality. And so we have to write bios for ourselves all the time. And I'm always stuck because it's writing in the third person.
You bet.
And if all else fails, and this is too challenging for you, ask somebody else to write it. I always think Eric writes a way better bio for me than I could any day.
It's my privilege. All right, gang. Wow, time flies when we're having fun. We have more fun with you than we do anywhere else. Thank you for tuning in to this, the home of positive business talk. Angel and I'll be back again tomorrow, Lord willing. Let's do it together. What do you say? Thank you. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Contact them on the web at experiencepros.com.